Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are doing really well. My name is Kintz, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my review for the Fantastic Four: The First Steps. So, this is a movie I really enjoyed, and I just want to share with you guys my thoughts on the movie and sort of my mixed to negative things about the movie, and just wow, it was such an impactful movie. I just woke up, so sorry if I seem really drowsy or whatever. But starting off, this was a movie I was really looking forward to, and I gotta say, it's fantastic. It's really good. I had a great time with the film. It was very enjoyable, and it had such a strong message about family and just how amazing kids are and how you should love your kid. And it was just such a powerful message that I loved. It was awesome. It the the number one thing that this movie prioritized was family. The whole family aspect of the movie was done so well. Family is one of the most important things to me, and just seeing it treated with so much respect just made me love the movie even more. I loved the family aspect, and in terms of just the whole movie as a whole, I loved the whole family dynamic that every character had. Their chemistry just worked so good together. And like Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards or Vanessa Kirby, Sue Storm, they worked so well. Their chemistry was so great, and then Human Torch and the Thing loved their chemistry, and it was I just loved their whole team family dynamic. It was done so well in my opinion, and just such a joy to watch, and it was really just refreshing to see because you don't see that in a lot of like team up movies. They are like a family, and you don't really get that with like the Avengers or the new Avengers. Kind of lead into it a bit, but nah, the Fantastic Four is a family first and foremost. So I loved I loved how they treated it. I'll sort of talk to you guys without spoilers, of course, on each member of the team and like what I really liked, what they brought. Starting with Reed Richards, he was definitely the primary focus of the movie. He was he gave off such a big worried father look. He was like worried for the family, the planet, because the whole like thing with the movie is they is him and Sue are having a child, and the Silver Surfer comes and marks the planet for death. And afterwards, this isn't an origin story. Afterwards, they have to try to stop Galactus, and yeah, they had a big. It was like a just big, just thing of dread and just lack of hope. So Reed Richards just worked himself to death just trying to figure out something to save the planet and not have to just let the planet die pretty much. He was trying to protect his family and the world, which he was just stretching himself thin, no pun intended. Just seeing how well he pulled that off. Like Pedro Pascal has some range. He's a great Mr. Fantastic, and I know people were skeptical of him at first. I love Pedro Pascal, so I just loved his performance. He did such a good job. All right, pivoting over to Sue Storm. She was definitely the heart of the movie, I think. A lot of topics in like just motherhood surrounded her character. She was I would think the heart of the movie. She just had so much compassion for her kid. It it really shows how far a mother will go to save their kid and protect their kid at all costs, is is super which is definitely really true. I'm not a parent obviously, but that just how far she would go to protect her child, that was amazing to see pretty much, and I loved her character. She's such a powerful character with her, and she's I need more time to marinate, but she might be my favorite female character in the MCU. Maybe I need to think, or I need to process more of it. Next up is Human Torch. He surprisingly had a very important role in the movie, and if you guys have watched any of the previous Fantastic Four movies, Johnny Storm was just kind of a cocky jerk, pretty much, and just and in this movie they actually gave him something important to do. That he showed he's a competent member of the team. He's a loving person. He's just a slightly immature, and I just love his character so much. He was done so well, and I know people were skeptical about Joseph Quinn playing him. He pulled him off really well, I think. I really liked him. And yeah, his fire powers were cool, and I just loved the Human Torch. He was super cool. The Thing, I loved The Thing. He was really good. He probably had the least bit to do in the team, like among all the characters. He sort of had the least to do. He does have a subplot with like a romantic subplot, but with it being the end of the world, they were more focused on saving the world. But he does like have sort of a like sort of disconnection of in because he doesn't really look like everyone else, but he was done really well, I think. He just didn't have as much to do as everyone else. He still carried in the parts he needed to carry. Like he was definitely just that uncle, best friend, brother type. He cared for the team as well. Like he helped them like when they were in space. He like just helped them try to escape and tried to like comfort everyone. He, I loved his character and I'd love to see more of him, but he didn't have as much to do. Anyway, let's pivot over to the villains. Silver Surfer, whoa. She was awesome and yet pretty intimidating, and she looked so good. I come to say she looks fantastic. Say that again. All right. Now she was awesome to see, and I know people were skeptical about her being a female, but it's an alternate universe. It's a different Silver Surfer. It's a different Herald. She is a character in the comics. So if people are like saying things like it's woke, it's like, do you really understand the comics? If it's like it's in a different universe, and they're probably saving Norrin Rad for the future, pretty much. But let's talk about Galactus. Oh my gosh, he was a presence. He was scary. Like I thought he looked creepy, but he also just was awesome, and just seeing him was just such a jaw-dropping moment. Like the first time he shows up on screen, my jaw drops, and just what he does was like I couldn't hold, I held my breath and I was at the edge of my seat every time he was on screen. Just saying, he's really loud, and I've heard I didn't go to an IMAX theater to see this film, but my theater was echoing quite a bit, and I've heard IMAX theaters his voice rumbles the theater, which is crazy. Anyway, he was awesome and just an intimidating presence, and you did not know what the outcome was with this character on screen. It was terrifying. He was done so well, and it was just nice to. He's a character I've always wanted to see done right on the big screen, not a giant cloud. And so, with that being said, loved Galactus, and I would love to see him again because he was just that frightening and scary. What else? Herbie was also really cool. He actually played a pretty decent chunk in the movie, and he was awesome. I loved Herbie. Um, he was definitely a caring person in the team, but he wasn't really like I don't really know how he doesn't really have a character arc or anything. He's just that like R2D2 type of character, and I love R2D2. So his presence was welcome in the movie. So I really like him, and I definitely like to see him again. If there is a replica of Herbie out there, I want it pretty much. I know it's a popcorn bucket, but maybe might buy it. I don't know. um, but anyway, the story is just so good, and it's such a simple story, but the stakes are like at an all-time high with it. They definitely did the right thing with it being not in the MCU. but it's still an MCU movie, if you know what I'm saying. It's on a different Earth, not our main MCU Earth, which that's what helps me because like the stakes are at an all time high. They have to try to figure out how to save the world, and the ways they go about it was like really crazy. And if things would go wrong, I would just feel my hope go away. Like every time I thought hope was coming, nope, it kept disappearing. And without spoilers, just I was at the edge of my seat all day, and I did not know what was happen. I did not know what was going to happen till the very end of the film. So yeah, it was a very suspenseful movie, and there is surprisingly not a lot of comedy in the movie. And when there is like comedy, it works pretty well. I think it's like a lot of it's just short and sweet, and well, they the movie's primarily just a very dark, depressing movie, and like the movie feels like it lacks hope because of what's at stake. I know, like, if people knew when the end of the world was coming, that's how things would be. But I loved the whole Fantastic Four in this movie, and I just loved their whole setup and just how great these characters are. They were actually done right, I think, and it's definitely my favorite version of the Fantastic Four that I've ever seen. So I'm happy to say that it's done right. It was made for fans by the fans. But that doesn't mean I have some negatives I want to talk about as well. The negatives of the film, like, all right, one of the things that I'm mixed on was there is a lack of action in the film. Like, there's not that many fight scenes or anything, but the fight scenes are like there's a space scene that's like really thrilling, but when the action scenes are there, it is very fun, suspenseful, and just honestly downright scary. The whole thing with Galactus, oh my gosh, I could not take my eyes off the screen. I was just like frozen. I was like, oh my gosh, what is gonna happen? So the fights, so the fight scenes in the highest production value for everything just went into Galactus and the Silver Surfer. That's where most of the money went, and they looked so good, and it was so like a lot. Those action scenes helped carry it, but like Reed Richards, for example, people want to see stretchy powers, and we haven't really seen stretchy powers done in a long, long time. Um, he doesn't really do much interesting with them. Like there is a clip where something has him by the cheek and it's stretched out here, but primarily his stretching abilities are just him stretching his arms and legs to move around, and like collapsing buildings and all that, trying to move around, climb things. That's pretty much what they. That's how far they go with his powers. He doesn't do anything like crazy. Like I can't really think of a uncanny situation to where he would use his stretchy powers in a weird way, but it is very basic stretching abilities. I'm sure they're gonna do more later on because like he'll be back in Doomsday, so I'm sure that there will be plenty more, and I'm sure he's going to be a primary character from now on in the MCU. So I'm excited for that though. Um, the movie, I think the pacing went pretty well, but yeah, it primarily for me it was like some of the lack of like some of the abilities. I just shook my camera. Wow, I'm sorry. But overall, that's pretty much all I have in terms of negatives. I really enjoyed this movie. It's not my favorite MCU movie of all time, but it is an enjoyable one and it is a standout one, and I think it is a great start to Phase 6. So I definitely recommend you go check this film out. It's fantastic. That's my review. It's fantastic. So I've heard to I would recommend you go see it on the biggest screen possible. See it in an IMAX theater. Why not? Because like you want to just like this film is a large film, if you know what I'm saying. There's a big presence, so I recommend you go see this movie. It's a great time. You will not regret it. Again, it's a great start to Phase 6, and that to me just shows, hey, Marvel is starting to get back at their best. So, I want to see these characters again, and they are just fantastic, I think. Anyway, that's all I have on this review today. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. I definitely recommend you go check this movie out. So, if you guys liked my review, be sure to give it a like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified every time I upload a video. I like to live stream and I like to just do movie reviews, and I have more coming in your way. It's just in development pretty much. So I thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day and always be fantastic. Say that again.